Welcome to Food Review FM, where we count down the UK's top 40. The top 40 biggest songs in the UK as of today. In 4, we have Kelly Clarkson with Since You've Been Gone. In 3, we have Staind with It's Been a While. In second, and just missing out on first place, is Rihanna with Where Have You Been? And taking top spot in number 1 is Roxette with It Must Have Been Love. Join us from 10 PM for a late night love song. Now you've heard the top 4 songs in the UK, we can get down to business is what we're here for. Let's get down to business. We've got beans, yeah? I've been to the shop and I brought 4 tins of beans. Heinz, baked beans, everybody knows Heinz. They were £1.20. These were 25 pence. We're going to be doing a taste test as well. These were 39 pence and Branston's were a quid. £1. So the price varies loads there, doesn't it? Now it's thumbnail time. Thumbnail over. So we've got them in order from left to right for cheapest to most expensive. Now you can tell again that this one here is the cheapest because of the packaging. They are spending less money on marketing and packaging and they are spending more money on the product. So can these live up to these beans here? Heinz beans. So we'll just take a look at a bit of nutritional information about them. The cheapest beans have 0.9 grams of fat in them per half a can. The second cheapest have 1.6 grams of fat in them. That is quite a lot, to be honest. Branston's, they make it difficult. They don't put the traffic light system on, so you have to look for it yourself. Fat, they have 1.2 grams of fat. And the Heinz, they have 0.7 grams of fat per half a can. So the most expensive ones in this instance are the healthiest. The second cheapest ones are the ones with the most fat content in them. I mean, just look at this one here, the second cheapest one, 10.3 grams of sugar. That has got loads more sugar in than all the others. The most expensive one has got 8.9 grams. So this is telling me that these should taste the nicest because they've got the most sugar in them, they've got the most fat in them, they are the most unhealthiest ones. And they've obviously all got beans in them. Funny that, isn't it? This one has got 45% beans. The second cheapest has got 53% beans. The second most expensive, 51% beans. And Heinz, the most expensive, 50% beans. So again, the second cheapest one has got the most beans in it. And all the other ingredients are pretty much the same. Tomato puree, water, sugar, maize, salt, onion powder, and the rest of that. And out of the 4, there is only one of them that's going to make us do work and get that old contraption, the tin opener, out. This is the cheapest one. Again, because they have not spent money on marketing and packaging. All the rest have got ring pulls. Making our life easy. This is where I get into trouble. Look at the size of the pan I'm using for a tin of beans. Look at that. Creating all that washing up for that. Whoops. Let's get them in the tins ready to cook. This is the cheapest one going into the smallest pan. Second cheapest. Can never get them all out, can you? Unless you get a spoon. That's what I hate about beans. Second most expensive going in. Oh, bean juice flying everywhere. And the most expensive going in this pan. Absolutely ridiculous. But it is what it is. I actually didn't realise how awkward this was going to be, doing 4 tins of beans at the same time. But you can see, they all look the same, don't they? They're all orange in colour. They're all bean-shaped. What more can you say about beans? They've got to pass the taste test, though. And guys, if you want tips on how to piss the missus off, this is how you do it. Get yourself 4 pans of beans set up. Get all this washing up. Look, 4 spoons, 4 pans. But don't worry, I will do the washing up after. So there we are. They're all cooked now. They still all look the same, don't they, really? The only difference is I think these are a bit more runny than the others. These seem a bit thicker. These are the second most expensive ones. These seem quite thick as well. And so do these. The Heinz ones, the most expensive ones, seem a bit more runny. Now to save on the washing up, I'm going to keep them in these pans and I'm going to eat them out of the pans. So first of all, I'm going to try the cheap ones. These are 25p. Okay, they haven't got much flavour to them, but they're beans. The beans taste like beans. The tomato sauce doesn't taste like tomato sauce though. But as I say, with the cheap things, you can add spices, you can add salt, you can add tomato ketchup to make them more tomatoey. I like to add Worcester sauce as well to mine, give it that flavour. And sometimes a bit of chilli powder. So now we've got the second cheapest ones. To me again, they taste exactly the same as the cheapest ones. So we find that quite often with these brands, don't we? The cheapest ones and the second cheapest ones tend to taste similar. Now we've got the second most expensive ones. The beans in these taste a bit more crunchy and there's a bit more tomatoey flavour to the sauce as well. Just gives it that little bit of kick. Okay, so the second most expensive one is the best so far. But then we've got the king of beans here. The Big Daddy in the big stupid pan. So much trouble. For me, they are the best so far. The beans in them are nice and soft. They're not crunchy like the ones we just tried, the second most expensive ones. And again, the tomato sauce is more tomatoey. That has surprised me because I thought the second cheapest that we looked at, the ones with the most sugar in, might have rivaled the most expensive ones, but they haven't. It is really just down to that tomato sauce. This one is more tomatoey. It's got more flavour in it than any of the others. So that is the taste test done. Now, if I was going to go to a supermarket and buy any one of these 4 beans, which one would I buy? I'd buy the cheapest. Not because they taste the best, but like I've explained with beans, you can add things into them. You can add cheese, you can add salt, pepper, whatever. You can add these cheap things into them. Well, cheese isn't cheap, is it? But you know what I mean. To make them taste even better than the leading brand. Worcester sauce, butter, you can put anything in them. And they are nearly £1 cheaper than the most expensive ones. So it's just a no-brainer to me. If you get through 5 tins of beans a week and you switch to the cheaper ones than the more expensive ones, that's £5 a week saved. £20 a month. You'll be shocked that is £240 a year you could save just by switching to the cheap baked beans. What? Then you'll be able to buy your pepper and whatever you put in them with that. 240 quid. That's absolutely insane. So you can see how much you can save just by switching to these cheaper brands. So why aren't you doing it? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Who's in there? Not. Anybody there? But for taste-wise, straight out the tin, as they are, Heinz beans, the most expensive, were the best. That is the review over. If you like this sort of content, then please consider subscribing. I can't even say it. Please consider subscribing because it helps the channel out. Please like the video, comment, share. Do what you got to do. And if you didn't like it, just do the same. Just because you can. And I'll see you in the next one.